Now that our pattern fills are inside our masked folder, we can bring back the missing stave lines. There are two main ways to do this, and you should choose the method that works best for you. Firstly, the easier but slower method. Select your folder and set the opacity to a medium value. Now we can see both where the stave lines are and where we've covered them. Adjust your paintbrush to an appropriate size. This will depend on the unique staves in your image, but it will likely be around 10 to 15 pixels in diameter and between 0 and 25% hardness. You may wish to save this as a tool preset so you can quickly get these values back. With the pen set to black, click and shift-click along the stave lines to restore them. If you want to make a change, you can switch to white and draw again. The default shortcut for switching foreground and background colors is X on your keyboard. The second technique is more advanced, but if you get good at it, it can be significantly faster. Draw a straight line halfway across the stave. Duplicate the layer so that you have one for each of the 5 staves, and use the Align tool to make sure they are evenly spaced. Merge the layer and convert it into a smart object. If you want to, you can open the smart object and save it for use on other pages later. Duplicate your smart object to cover all the stave lines and lower their opacity to a medium value so that we can see the stave lines underneath our black lines. The reason we are using a smart object is that you can distort and warp them several times without losing quality. We are now going to use the distort and warp tools to line up our black lines with the stave lines. Due to the limits of the warp tool, it will be difficult to get it lined up perfectly. When it is close, you can rasterize the smart object so that you can edit it in more detail. Continue this way until everything is lined up nicely. Once you have all of these layers correctly matching the staves, you can merge them. Make a selection from the finished layer by holding Command on a Mac or Control on Windows and clicking on the layer thumbnail. Now, select the mask on your folder, and making sure you have black as your secondary color, press Delete. These lines are now on the mask, stopping the paper pattern in our folder from covering the stave lines. Don't delete the stave line layer you have made as it holds valuable information. Instead, hide it and move it to the top of your layer stack out of the way. Next, we're going to look at setting up a quick cleaning method to remove darker damage without applying paper to too much of the image.